It's all about French countryside gardening, as we're following Team 8 of final year landscaping students who only have a few weeks to design, build and complete a country-style garden from France, except it's in the middle of Lifestyle Garden Centre. The team has been hard at work this past week, building up a wall and plastering it, making sure that it's all in place before they can carry on with putting in other pieces of hardscaping. Very interesting here, Ryan. There's something that wasn't actually on your plan.
Well, we had to erect a step here. It wasn't part of the plan originally because this garden was supposed to be viewed from the patio. And so for the judges' sake and just for the ease of getting in and out of the garden, we had to just we erected a step.
That is a bit of a problem if you've got something that's over here and your general public are coming, they're only going to be seeing it from that side.
Correct.
Now, you've moved a long way since we saw you last. When we were here, there were just a couple of bricks marking the design out. And I think I can see how it's going to take shape. And I like the fact it's a nice long garden. It works very well.
That's right.
Ryan, what is this?
Okay, we've taken two panels and to get the plaster to stick onto it, we've actually covered it up with some mesh. And then we've now started plastering it.
I thought that this was going to be some postmodern funky forest down the bottom end of the garden.
Yeah, no, this is going to be, we're going to have a door with a window box, and all that will be mounted onto the...
Okay. What is the next step in your garden?
Well, we're busy, as I say, trying to finish our plastering, and then we'll probably continue now with the patio. You know, just fill it up a little bit, start getting our paving in, and then we'll have to lay out the rest of our path, and then then wait for our trees and our hard landscaping to come, and then
you're done.
Oh, well.
Oh, you'll sail through
less.
this. No, pas de problème. There we go. Let's take a walk through our French symphony, shall we, Mr. Duet? Clearly, Ryan and his team still have some serious work ahead if they're to make it in time for the show opening. While the wall is drying off nicely, the other important elements start to make their way into the garden. The paving's getting laid, the pergolas are ready, and then other tasks such as getting the door ready are also seen to at this point. Two weeks have gone by and the French meadow garden has really taken shape. The soft blue stable-type door has found its place onto the wall. And although the team were considering a birchwood forest in their original planting scheme, they've opted for another great tree for smaller spaces, which has the mottled silverbark and spreading canopy they're looking for, the leopard tree. And they seem to have fitted perfectly into this space. Ryan is on hand to take me through what has been done so far. So much has changed since the last time that we were here, and I'm glad to see that this wall is looking quite cool now.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit better now. We've obviously introduced the blue door, very typically French.
Yes.
And then we've got a metal trellis which we're going to also mount onto the wall with some planting just to hang over the side, just to imitate a bit of a window.
Okay, and what colour is this wall going?
We're going to keep it neutral, grey. It'll probably lighten a bit to a bit of a whitish colour. It's going to stay like that because it's in the country, and that, well, we're trying to keep it as natural as possible.
And I like the fact that your paving has also started coming in. You've got a water feature over here, but the paving will lead you through, and it's like two different colours as well, so it's not just a block kind of...
Correct. It's just to add some interest, otherwise the grey might be overpowering and it might be too grey. Yes. So we've got a lot of terracotta pots around the garden, and so we've introduced some terracotta paving just to break up the monotony.
The thing that really brings a garden in is when you suddenly get all of your vertical accent points coming. The trees are in, these big arches are in, and it just makes an incredible difference.
Yes, now look, the arches do make a huge difference, and it just leads you, it just shows you which way to go. The arches behind us, we're going to have black-eyed Susan creeping over it. Right. So it's almost like a bit of a tunnel, so you feel nice and secure when you walk through it. And then just to break it up a bit, we've put a single arch, also with a black-eyed Susan creeper that will creep over it. And
then you've got a little forest of your leopard trees and them dotted throughout the garden as well.
Yes, so we were lucky, we've got nice leopard trees. The forest came out quite nice, and then like you say, just to create a bit more shady areas in the garden, we've just added 2 extra into the garden. Okay,
and then obviously under your shady areas you have plectranthus, which is a great shade plant. But what I'm loving is your colour combinations. I mean, the yellow and the purple.
Yeah, look, the yellow and purple work well together. They're on the opposite side of the colour spectrum, so they complement each other. And the other colour that we need to still introduce is blue. There's not much of it happening now, but that will still come in.
Everything is falling into place, and with only a week or so to go, the students only have a few finishing touches left to do, including finishing off the planting. As work comes to a standstill and everyone seems to be taking a break, I'm going to quickly sneak into the garden to take a closer look at some of the meadow plants as well as the little forest. I think the thing that gives this French garden its beautiful, dreamy-like charm are the amount of blue and purple flowers that we have growing. One of them here, of course, is Salvia splendens, and this one is Mystic Spires. Salvias come in a range of colour, and I mean, you can find them for any colour scheme in the garden, from those deep, fiery reds through to creams and fluffy grey leafed beauties. And they are pretty much the hottest annuals on the summer gardening calendar, as well as being perennials. I mean, I just leave mine in my garden and they keep coming back year after year without any trials and tribulation on my part. They need full sun. They're quite happy there, but they will do okay in semi-shade. They can grow in pretty much any kind of soil, and watering, well, just leave them and let the weather do it for you. For centuries, the fragrance and the blue-purple sight of lavender have assailed the senses. And this one over here, English lavender, it's absolutely beautiful. Lavandula angustifolia. Like all of the other varieties of lavender, they like well-drained soil. You can water them once or twice during summer, once during the winter. Don't plant new plants together. Even if you have visions of rows and rows of lavender tightly knit together, they do need a bit of space. And a little bit of care. Make sure you prune them quite regularly. And of course, take the buds to make yourself some fantastic shortbread. You get yourself a flavor sensation. Now, I have heard tell of leopard trees being worked really, really well as a small forest in a garden. But if you told me you were going to be putting 5 into such a small area, I'd have thought you were a bit mad, because I have seen these get up to quite big heights. But I tell you what, sitting here with these 5 little trees with their spreading canopies, it's created the most amazing, not only a sense of calm and stillness, but the shade is just absolutely fabulous. After the break, it's that all-important day as we unveil the quaint countryside garden, and then Mike and I take a closer look as to whether or not the students have got it right.